All right, let's talk about what is your role as a client in the success of a website project. A lot of people think that the success of the project depends on the person that they hire. Whether they hire the right person for the job, that's going to really set the tone for whether the job is a success. And I want to say that that is definitely part of it. But another big part of it is what you bring to the table as a client, like your role. Because in my case, having done hundreds of projects, I know for sure that there are certain situations where things go super, super great, and certain client situations where things are messy and confusing and stressful. And the variable is really the client, like the really how they respond to us and how they do their role in the job. And I want to just talk to you about what it means to be a good client to a web person. Because ultimately a web team is not a miracle worker. We can only work, to the degree that we can do our job. And sometimes that's limited by the situation we're in with the client. So number one with the client, being clear on what you want, and you're doing this already through the portal. But clarity is really the number one thing any web person is looking for. Because if we have a target, we can hit it. If you don't know what you want, there's no way that we're going to hit it. And so if we're not giving you what you want, but you're not even clear what you want, it's going to create frustration and discouragement and disappointment. Number two, pay promptly. The web team, being in a service business, we work a lot on faith. So we will work and then send an invoice and then keep working and send another invoice. And sometimes that happens where the invoices kind of pile up. And then the web team is going to start to get discouraged and going to get nervous. Are you going to pay? And we may draw a line and say, hey, we have a cutoff day and we don't hear from you. Or, so all the paying on time, usually within one business week, is ideal because that just shows the team, shows your web people like, no, I'm invested. I support you. You're doing your job. I'm going to honor that, but don't pay late. It just makes them nervous. It makes them withdraw. It makes them kind of shut down. Number three, talk to them with respect. And website work can be very stressful. There's so many things that can go wrong, whether it's the fault of the web team or not. There's so many variables that affect whether or not a website works, whether it's technical issues. And so I'm going to talk about this in another video, but always communicating to the web team with respect, with honor, with giving the benefit of the doubt, even if you're scared. And again, I'm going to talk about that a lot more in one of the next videos. Being a good client means being responsive. The pace of the web team is really we can only work as fast as you sort of let us work, let's say. So if we send you an email with some questions or we need your feedback on something and we don't hear back from you for 3, 4, 5 days, we will stop working. So we're going to stop and wait. We're not going to work guessing. We're going to get your feedback, wait. So as a good client, your job is ideally within the same day or within 24 hours to get back to us so we can keep the project moving. Because what will happen is if you don't get back to us, we have other clients. So we will sort of put your project sort of on that back burner and keep working on other projects. And when you get back to us, now you're sort of back in a queue. So if you want to keep yourself on the top of mind, be quick as a client. I would say the number 5 is to be open-minded. It's excellent to have clarity, and I always tell clients have clarity. But if we come in with an idea or one of your ideas isn't going to work or it doesn't make sense or it's not as cost efficient, just keeping in mind that there may be another way to do it. This is one thing that I love is when I work with a client that they have a direction, they have a goal, but they're open about how to get there. That kind of gives me more freedom to say, okay, you have an idea to make your website do this. Could we make it do this instead? Like this would work better. Because sometimes clients come to the table and they're married to ideas, like locked in on ideas that are not necessarily smart. In the sense of from a performance standpoint, like sometimes they want to do something on the website that we know is going to make the website slow and not work on mobile, but they're married to it. And then when we do it and they're like, it doesn't work, my website's slow. We told you, so keeping an open mind that we know how this works. And we're going to offer suggestions. You're welcome to say no, but just trusting your team that we have your best interests at heart. We know you're looking for a website that looks good, works good, is fast, is responsive. We know that. So if you make a suggestion that is going to stand in the way of that, we're going to let you know. So I'm just saying, keeping an open mind and just not being just so stubborn that you're going to stand in the way of you actually getting what you want. I will see you in the next video.